Ellen McCauley. I'm at Pradoff in Syracuse, New York. It's October 9th, and I already mentioned to the group that I was wearing red, white, and blue today because I was interviewed by the magazine 55 Plus for the Wreaths Across America program. If you're listening out there in Blogland and you would like more information on Wreaths Across America, please feel free to email me. Tonight, we're going to talk about something that I've never really talked about, timing on eating. The best times to eat. And no, the answer isn't all the time. The answer is that we need to pick some times that are the best times. I firmly believe that breakfast, lunch, and dinner with no snacks can work for some people. I also think that some people need to have snacks, but they should be healthy snacks. But what you shouldn't do ever is starve yourself all day and then have a heavy calorie meal late at night before bed. So, what time should you eat? I am a firm believer in breakfast. I'm a firm believer in protein at breakfast. And when I watch the videos of our guest speaker, Pete, a lot of people asked him questions about protein. So over the next few weeks, we're going to talk about protein a little bit more because protein is a key ingredient to healthy weight loss, to healthy bodies, and eating the right kinds of protein are critical. Breakfast is something that you can train yourself to really want. I know people in this group, they write down black coffee every morning. I'm like, that's not breakfast. Black coffee is not breakfast. Plus, you're putting black coffee, which is a cup of acid, on an empty stomach. And you wonder why you get indigestion. So, coffee should be had after you've had a healthy breakfast of protein, oatmeal. We'll talk more about that. Now, lunch should be 4 or 5 hours after breakfast, okay? So if you eat breakfast at 7, lunch should be between 11 and noon. Now, if you can't eat lunch till a little bit later, or if you really get hungry, or if you really are fixated on food, have a snack of some grapes or an apple or something healthy. A lot of people are eating too many protein bars. They'll have a protein bar as a snack in the morning and in the afternoon and at night. Now, a lot of protein bars have 250, 260 calories. Now, if you're not losing weight, that might be why. If you're losing weight, I don't say much if you're losing weight, unless you're eating Whoppers with cheese with bacon wraps every minute, you know? But if you're losing weight, I don't say much. Also, cheese sticks. Cheese sticks are very good. High protein, you put them in your purse. My sister likes egg whites. Like, she doesn't like the hard-boiled eggs, so she'll like hard-boiled eggs and then give her husband the yolk part, and then she'll cut up the egg whites and have them in a baggie and snack on those. She likes them. Also, dinner. Many people tend to overeat at dinner. And then your least amount of exercise usually is after dinner because you're tired, you've been working, you've been doing things, and then you sit on your butt watching Jeopardy, and then you go to bed. So a lot of people have their biggest meal at lunch. Now, my sister does that. I really don't like it. It hasn't ever really been something I want to do. Maybe over the years I might change my mind, but I'm not overeating at dinner, but I tend to have a very, very light lunch. Now, there are some people that truly believe and have done very well on intermittent fasting. I don't believe, and studies have shown, that it really isn't a way of life. Because your body will get used to it, and you'll stop losing weight. And you'll start even plateauing or gaining weight. So you might want to change it up. If you've been doing intermittent fasting for a while, which is like not eating from dinner to the next lunch or whatever, you might want to say, you know what, I'm going to take a break and have some breakfast now. So I never say that we're a diet program. And that's what Pete said too. Pete doesn't believe in diets, our nutritionist, personal trainer. I never have purported that this is a diet program. To be successful, you just have to do more of the right things. I gained weight on the cruise. I knew I would. But today I weighed the same as I did the morning I went on the cruise. And that's where we change. If we learn and get back in the saddle after we have a vacation or after we zig, we can be successful. Now, the old Ellen would gain 10 pounds on a cruise and then say, well, forget it, and keep eating, and then weigh 371. You know what I'm saying? But if you say, whoa, I had a good time, put on a few pounds, which I didn't put on 10, but put on a few, and say, you know why I didn't put on 10? Because I'm the new Ellen and not the old Ellen. You know, because I was still having a healthy breakfast of eggs and things of that nature. So we need to remember that our bodies need our fuel. We're trying to lose weight, but we still have to fuel it to do the things we need it to do. No restrictive diet is successful in the long term. And there's no simple formula for any person. You know, I suggest eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner and no snacks, and that might not be successful for you. But you should really try it first. And you always need to God bless you, make time to eat. My daughter is very happily married, but her husband does something that drives her insane. He'll say, you know, I forgot to eat. She comes from our family. We never forget to eat. Never once in my life go, oh, what? I forgot to eat. Never. That's never happened. And she'll go, well, what'd you have for lunch? She goes, oh, I forgot to eat all day. I've just been so busy. Well, so we need to plan it, though. And, you know, when I started at the county, I was union, and I said, you know what? Every job I ever had, I worked through my lunch, and I didn't take time for myself. I'm union. I'm taking my lunch. And when I substitute teach, which I'm back substituting at Seymour, they were so happy to see me and love me so much, and I love them. I take my lunch. I eat a light lunch, but I can have strawberries, blueberries, a little turkey. I need that fuel, and sometimes it's just something to look forward to. I get my lunch, I get to take a little break, you know? So you need to plan for it. Have a little cooler. I go in with a little teeny cooler into Seymour, and everything's nice and cold. If you don't have one, I just sold one on my garage sale. I have an extra one. Let me know, and I'll give it to you. Now, what if you say to me, Ellen, I eat a lot at night. And you don't have to say it to me. I read it on your logs. Sometimes there's not enough room and you're writing in the margins. That's when you're writing in the margins, that's an indication that you've had too much to eat. So if you are a real late night eating after supper kind of person, we need to talk about it because you really shouldn't be eating after 7. I only eat after 7 one day a week, and that's pray it off night. Because I can't eat before pray it off because I get too worked up. So I go home, relax, and eat a salad with tuna on it, which is my go-to Thursday night dinner. And you might say, well, Ellen, you don't have my life. You don't know what I'm doing. You know, I get home so late. Well, then maybe you should have a heavier meal at lunch. If you are getting home late, maybe you should get up earlier and have a bigger breakfast. So you need to figure out the cause of eating late at night. Are you getting home late? Are you bored? Is it a habit? Do you always have to have a snack when you watch TV? Is eating a hobby? Is it? Think about it. People are laughing a little bit because what do I eat? What do I want to eat? So many people graze throughout the day. They walk through the kitchen, they get something to eat, they go to the cupboard. We need to say, I'm planning my meals and I'm no longer going to graze. I don't think we have binge eaters in this group. I don't really see it on your logs unless you're not writing it down. And that's good because binge eating is not good for our bodies, and it's psychologically, it is an issue, and you might need a little bit of help for that. But we need to identify our triggers for nighttime snacking. Do you get to the point where you say, I just don't care? I don't care about losing weight. I don't care about being healthy. I don't care about anything. Give me ice cream now. You know? And if that's the case, don't care one night, but try to care the next day. It's okay to not care one night. It's okay. But when you make a habit of not caring, that's when you gain 20 and 30 pounds. And the number one thing is planning our meals. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more in session 34. Is one of the biggest things I can say about this group is there's not a lot of pre-meal planning. Lorraine said she made the 2 recipes I included last week. And her husband, who's not in the weight loss plan, couldn't stop eating the crab salad. And you really need to think outside the box and start trying to use these recipes because they're very, very good. And if you are eating at night because you're depressed, angry, upset, at the end of your rope, get some emotional support. I've had people in this group call me, especially Sunday afternoons, it's my best time, and tell me what's been going on in their lives. And I always say, oh my gosh, oh, how awful, wow, oh, unbelievable. Sometimes you just need to verbalize it and I will always take your side. Even if you're wrong, I'll take your side. Take your side. You know, I will. I'll take your side. Maybe later, I'll reflect and say, remember when you said that? You were kind of wrong. Not at that time, okay? You need a trusted friend, you need a family member, or sometimes you need a healthcare professional, okay? And we need to de-stress, and sometimes we need to find what helps us de-stress. And what's helped me to de-stress, I've been a little psychologically stressed, where I wake up in the middle of the night, like midnight, because my brain's going on. I'm thinking, well, maybe if I did this, maybe if I do that, maybe, like I'm trying to think of all these ideas. And I was up last night from midnight till 2 o'clock in the morning, just because I can't shut off my brain sometimes. So this morning I got up, had a long conversation with God as I was exercising. I went to the gym for 2 hours, went to therapy for 40 minutes. And I had a long conversation with God, and he was saying to me, release, Ellen, trust. Release, trust. And I just kept hearing those 2 words, and I felt 1,000,000% better. He loves us. Pat Moranti said that. God loves us and wants us to love him. He loves me so much, he doesn't want me stressed out. He doesn't. He doesn't want you stressed out either. Okay? And one of the things I also decided is that I'm going to substitute a little less until January when the reads across America are done. We need to look at our lives and say, what can I do to eliminate some of the stress in my life and make some plans? Some people need to eat multiple times throughout the day. Eat some watermelon, eat an apple, eat those grapes, eat cheese sticks, anything of that nature. And include protein at every meal. There are some logs that people hand in that have no protein. None. You think, oh, Alan, oh wait, I'm sorry, the cheese on their 5 pieces of pizza, that's some protein. I'm serious. That's it. So we really need to get some chicken and some meat and if you don't want meat, you can have other plant-based proteins, etc., that we'll talk more about. Also, healthy snacks. I talked about too many protein bars, way too many. And sometimes we need to distract ourselves from the food by, again, helping others, praying, having a hobby, walking, calling someone on the phone and actually having a conversation, writing a letter, journaling. I could think of a million things that you could do to distract yourself from the food. Everyone should stop eating after 7 unless you had a terrible day at work and you got home late, and or else it's pray it off night, okay? And then you can train yourself to eat less. That's all those drugs do, those semi-glutamides. They tell your body that you want less. They tell your body that you're full. You can also train yourself to believe that yourself. You can, now I'm not saying there aren't people who have adult onset diabetes who have really struggled that really need it, but those other people who don't qualify for the weight loss drugs, we can train ourselves to eat less. And I want, losing 100 and God knows how many pounds, Mary, you've lost like 150 pounds. Don't you feel fuller quicker? Aren't you hungry? Yes. We can't eat as much. The more weight you lose, the more full you get when you eat. So we train ourselves to want less. So the takeaway from this whole article is to eat more protein, to relax a little bit more, know what your triggers are, and try not to eat late at night. I'm going to stop right there, Bobby.